Alrighty guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel for another episode of the walk around. Now today, as you guys might see, we are doing things a little bit differently. We decided to break out the big guns. So yeah, we are going to be filming with our normal big filming slash cinematic camera, which is, I'm not actually even too sure, I just know it's a Canon. But yeah guys, anyways, this is, if I'm not mistaken, a 2023 BMW S1000XR, as you guys can see over here on the front. And this is definitely one of my favorite bikes out there. I must say it's quite special, and I'll get onto that a little bit further on into the video when we start talking about the engine and stuff like that. But yeah, as you guys might know, I go by the name of Big Red, and I do quite a bit of content for Dewet&Bikes with regards to reviews, etc, etc. And yeah, walkarounds is basically just a little bit of extra info and a better look at the bike for, you know, the consumer's purpose. So as I said, today we are with this absolute beauty. Now I must mention it is one of the few bikes that I have not ridden, so I can't give you guys an amazing idea in terms of how this thing rides and all those sorts of bits and bobs of information. However, I still know a little bit about the bike, and yeah, so I'm just going to tell you guys everything that I know about it and give you guys a little bit of a better look at what we've got going on. Yeah, obviously, as you guys know, we do have a workshop. There might be the occasional bit of noise, so please forgive us for that. But anyways, I think I should start with something that is quite relevant, and that is the fact that this bike is still actually restricted. So as you guys can see, we do have a keyless start, which means you basically just have to have the key close. However, we do have a little compartment that conveniently fits your keys perfectly. So yeah, if you are just riding the bike and you don't want to stick your keys in your pocket, you can just pop them over there. And then to get things going, we do have a push start over here. So as long as the key is close enough, it'll all turn on. And then you let it do the little startup. And yeah, as you guys can see, it's actually limited at 6,000 RPMs, which means this bike hasn't had its engine fully run in yet. Normally they'll run up until about 10,000 kilometers, and then the bike will unrestrict itself. In fact, I might be wrong about that. You might have to take it into BMW to get it unrestricted. And then from there, obviously you have access to the rest of your RPMs. And yeah, as I said, that's normally at about 10,000 Ks. And that's when you also do a little bit of a service. If I'm not mistaken, again, I'm pretty sure it's just a minor service, not a major service. So I'm certain that it's kind of just an oil filter and oil service that gets done on the bike. While we're at it, we might as well get a little startup going for you guys. Nothing too crazy. Obviously we do have a little bit of an aftermarket pipe going on over here. Now as you guys can see, it does still have the catalytic converter and all of that. So it is just a slip-on that's been added. But nonetheless, it's quite a loud bike. So it is just a slip-on that's been added. We don't have a full system or anything like that, but nonetheless it still looks good, and it's still quite loud, I must say. I struggle to hear myself speak there a little bit, so no, it's definitely not a quiet bike. Yeah, let's give it a little rev for you guys. So it is quite a rather nice sounding bike. On that note, it is worth mentioning that the engine in these is actually the exact same engine that you'll find in your BMW S1000 single Rs. So you've definitely got that torque, you've definitely got that power, and along with that you've got a lot, and I mean a lot, of nice electronic aid. Obviously it differs from person to person. Some people will love it, some people will hate it. So obviously you've got your regulars like your heated grips, traction control, wheelie control. I think there's also even corner assist on these sort of things. There's a lot going on. I mean, you guys can tell just by the amount of buttons that we have over here that there's a lot that can be done. Suspension adjustments, cruise control, I mean, if it exists as an electronic aid, this bike most likely has it. So as I did say, guys, it is one of the few bikes that I have yet to ride, and unfortunately I have not ridden. Well, I did ride the single R. However, I just don't want to tell you guys, you know, this is hard rides, that's hard rides, but I can't actually say for 100% certainty that, you know, they ride exactly the same. As you guys can see, we have got a very, very, very nice BMW spec top box on this thing, and it is absolutely beautiful. Color match to the bike. Now, it is something that comes pretty standard on the bikes nowadays, but we do have a quick shifter and auto blipper. So for those of you who don't understand what that is, essentially it allows you to shift up as well as down without the need of pulling in your clutch. Now, it is not necessarily a modification, it does come stock standard on these bikes, but I'm a huge fan of the hand guards for two reasons. Firstly, if you drop the bike, it protects it, and secondly, when it's a little bit cold outside, it actually does a really, really good job of protecting your fingers from the wind. I mean, you can see here, just by the design, it's actually directing that wind upwards and away from your hands. So you've got your heated grips and the hand guards, so you're going to be nice and warm, or at least your hands are going to be nice and toasty on those cold mornings. As expected, we do have some very nice Brembo calipers as well as discs, and you've also got your steel braided lines, which is pretty much it's a pretty standard thing to see nowadays. I wouldn't really classify it as much of a luxury. Obviously, we do have these mounts here for your little side bags. If you want to get some nice little saddle bags on there, you can just increase your carrying capacity by quite a bit there. I mean, you can essentially get one that's the same size, if not bigger, than what we've got going on up top. So get yourself two of those side bags, and you can probably do a decent amount of traveling on this thing and not have to worry about taking a backpack with you. And obviously, along with the keyless ignition, we've also got a keyless gas cap, so that's pretty nice. I must say, I'm not crazy about them. I do prefer my easy access twist offs. These ones can sometimes cause a little bit of issues. And then just to kind of wrap things up, you do have your nice GPS mount over there, as well as your adjustable windscreen. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to dive into the electronics. No, I don't even want to try and explain everything that we've got going on over here on the dash. But I mean, just take a second to appreciate that. It's an awesome looking dash. I have heard a lot of people say that once you get the hang of the BMW user interface, apparently it's one of the easiest ones to manage. However, getting used to it takes a little bit of time. I mean, yeah, this is like looking at an alien spacecraft to me. I've got no idea what's going on here. It's definitely a bike that I would like to own one day. I mean, you've even got the I think it's the S1000XR, if I'm not mistaken. That might be the name for it. Otherwise, it might just be the S1000XM. Those things are absolutely beautiful. Obviously, you're going to have your full carbon fairings and all of those sorts of things. Something that I did just notice that is definitely more common on the newer bikes nowadays is, I don't know if you guys can actually see that, it's a little bit too dark. There we go. Is actually radiator guards, so super nice that sort of thing is coming standard on the bikes. And then just above that, guys, yeah, there you go, you can see it. Just above that, you've got your steering damper, which is just going to stiffen up that steering and prevent those speed wobbles. Overall, absolutely beautiful bike. One of my absolute favorites when it comes to looks as well as power. And let's just say I just can't wait to have an opportunity to ride one of these things, because I've heard a lot of good things and I've seen them do a lot on the track. So I'm just really curious to see how these things actually perform and how they ride. Anyways, guys, that's it from me today. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to tune in for the next one. And yeah, I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.